Hello?
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
We need to talk.
Welcome back to We Need to Talk, episode number 82. I'm host Mr. KOA alongside
Top Boy.
I'm gonna try my best to get through this one today. I went to bed at 8 o'clock a.m. It is now 11:30 a.m. and I'm wired. And I don't drink coffee. I don't do any of those things. So I'm just...
How are you wired?
I don't know. I'm excited. I was up last night going through all the accounts from the post I made.
Yeah.
And I was just, I don't know, I was just excited. Like, you ever get in that vibe where like you're tired, but like the completing the mission is more rewarding to you than like going to sleep.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
So I just wanted to make sure everything was done on time. And it's like I am tired, but like I felt good about how I went to sleep. So I'm like, all right, you know what? It was worth the time. But anyway, yeah, what's been going on this week?
Another lockdown.
Back in lockdown.
Is Mississauga? I think it's just Toronto. No,
the lockdown.
Yeah,
Well,
is it affecting Mississauga?
You think it's just like GTA, like just
I know
actual Toronto.
Yeah, like I know it's Toronto because I know York region is fine. I know Vaughan is fine
For gyms and stuff?
Yeah.
And dining? Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know some places have not been affected yet.
I thought it was an Ontario thing.
No, I was talking to Burgess yesterday, and there's these new basketball courts, indoor basketball courts.
Yeah.
That's like the border of Vaughan and Saga. And he said he drove by the other night and it was packed because technically they're not in GTA. Like,
even that, the wishy-washiness of the rules and stuff is very
foolish.
You made a video about your perspective. You want just talk about it real quick for people who don't really follow personal pages.
Pretty much the lockdowns that were happening worldwide, they were essentially done to help hospitals with like an influx of people that were going to come in due to the virus, right? Which is like a smart thing to do. But of course, the lockdown has like crazy effects on the economy. And it's funny because all those months ago when Warren was on the podcast and you talked about like how COVID would affect things economically. Yeah. I think we all really kind of thought it'd be from, even though it is affecting it from like a business standpoint, like not being able to travel, like trade and all that shit. I don't think anyone thought how, I don't think we actually foresaw lockdowns in a way where it would affect people financially. Like, yeah. Like, I don't think people thought to themselves, all right, if we lock down for 2 weeks, how big of an effect that's going to have, and then let alone 5 months.
There's no way to project that.
No one can see that. So essentially they put in another lockdown for 28 days and they closed down casinos, gyms, indoor dining, all these different places. And the frustrating thing is there's no real logic behind the lockdown because they don't have the stats to back up why they're shutting down some of the industries. So
like the specific ones they're choosing.
Yeah. So like even for example, they talk about movie theaters, right? Have you been to a movie?
Just Tenet. Okay.
So when I went to go see Tenet, it was like theater was pretty much empty. Like I think it was every other row was empty. Mm-hmm. And even when you were sitting in the same row as someone, there was still plenty of space.
It was empty.
So in my head, I'm thinking,
where's the threat here?
Why are you closing down movie theaters? Right. Not that I'm going all the time.
No, but they're already losing here.
They're already losing. They're already losing a lot of money.
And they're doing all the precautions they can do.
So why are you closing them down again?
Like it's not as if movie theaters had this huge spike of people going like crazy and it was packed again. Like no, it was still empty.
And we'll get to that.
They're
right?
still losing money.
Gyms, same thing. Like I work in gyms, like two very different types. Yeah. I teach at Equinox and I teach at Boutique Studio. So it's two very different clientele, the way it's operated, but the amount of money these places are put in and the precautions they have in place, it almost makes you feel like when you're walking around, you say to yourself, oh, this is how it should have always been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even though these gyms that I work in, these two specifically, they're not dirty gyms.
Yeah.
One's very bougie and the other one's a business owner. So it's her baby. It's like you're looking and you say to yourself, this is how I want it to be from now on.
You know, it's fun. That's actually a really funny point because I went bowling maybe like 3 weeks ago, and the precautions for bowling, like they had to clean the lanes. I saw someone cleaning inside the bowling ball holes, the finger holes, and I'm like, why isn't this standard?
Why isn't it like done before?
Because
you put your hands in those,
bro. Not even just all those times. When you're going bowling, you bring food. People are eating fries, gravy, lick their fingers.
Yeah.
Put that back inside the bowling ball, wipe it on their pants, put it in, and the ball just comes back, and then next team comes. Like they literally had to. They stopped us like, oh, sorry, we have to clean the balls and stuff. And I was like, this seems like this should be normal. You know, like what?
And at certain points, you're not even mad at it. Like
no,
and I think in the beginning,
I was like, take your time, go in, get deep in those, deep in those balls.
I think at the very beginning of COVID, there was a little bit of
just awkwardness at first.
Awkwardness and some frustration. You're like, this is taking longer than it used to. And eventually you say to yourself,
this is necessary.
No, man, let's keep it like this. Like I seen videos of people cleaning down the seats in movie theaters. And like, our new practices.
And you're like, why is this new?
Why weren't you guys always doing this?
What were we doing before?
Right?
Was I singing someone's ass?
Pretty much.
Like
someone stank. You're sending their stank. So people were cheese. A lot of people were cheese in the fitness industry because, you know, there's been no outbreaks in our industry. I think actually I'm lying. I think there might have been two. An outbreak is like very loose. It was like one person tested. Someone came in, and then because of the precautions they have in place, they were able to actually contact trace to figure out who it came from, like how they got it, all that type of shit. The gym was closed for like 5 days, and they were good to go. So yeah, like they're frustrated because of that, and then also because the gym. Quick
question: Are when these gyms get shut down, is there anything put in place for their lease payments?
No.
So they're still burning money.
Yeah, still burning money. Like because the whole small business loan that the government created, right? That loan is actually, I don't want to say irrelevant, but if the landlord doesn't agree to it, then you're screwed. Like because
like the extension.
Yeah, like if the landlord says no, I don't want to do this loan, then you have to figure out how you come up with this money. So if you don't have a good landlord, you're kind of fucked. And it's like that was
like it's pretty discretionary.
It's discretionary. It's not like it was mandatory. It's discretionary. So a lot of places, not just gyms, but like a lot of places were kind of hung out to dry. So it's kind of a scary thing when you put a lockdown in place. I understand the notion behind it, but if you don't provide
all the ripple effect around it.
If you don't provide financial support, it makes no sense. So that's why I was getting kind of frustrated with people online talking about, you know, we need another lockdown. I'm like, yo, I get it. It's just don't ask for a lockdown if you don't have things in place like to help people.
Essentially, it sounds even stupid and rudimentary to even have to break it down like that. But it's like you as a country, city, community, whatever, like you can't just say, lock this down and fend for yourself.
Yeah, you
like,
can't.
That doesn't. You can't. That causes issues.
Yeah,
like that.
And I talked about this. I mean, you could probably relate because you work with a lot of through KOA Pros. You have a lot of and the club. Sorry, a lot of small businesses that you work with. But in the video, I talked about how, you know, if fitness industry is gone tomorrow, I'll be fine. Like I'll still make money doing what we do. But I like what it provides me physically, mentally, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, like, these are like people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, you and I somehow, based on what we do for a living, there's always going to seem to be a market for it, right? Especially because of COVID, more people want to shit online.
Right.
But not every business is built to be online.
Yes.
You know, like you still need a brick and mortar.
Yes.
You still need places to go into. And every week I'm just seeing like a new place close down. Every week.
I just saw it. I was just saying that a couple days ago as well. Like I was on Queen Street, I think. And it was like store after store after store with messages like we apologize after years of service with you guys. Unfortunately, we have to close down like permanently, like indefinitely, like not just like, oh, look, give us a couple of weeks. Like there's like mom and pop shops or like, classic places that have been there for 30, 40 years.
Remember that crepe place? Do you remember that across from the CTV building? There's like a crepe. Oh yeah. That place closed down.
Done for good.
Good. It's been there for like 30 years, bro.
Like it's sad. It's actually sad seeing this stuff because it's like, this is the problem as well. Yeah, you could say, well, you prepare for stuff like that, but like, let's be honest. If you've been running a company successfully without issue for 30 years, even I was talking specifically about like wedding photographers right now. Like there's people who specifically only do weddings. They don't do shit else. Like you can say, oh, you should diversify, whatever. It's like, but listen, if you're a wedding photographer and there's never been in the history of your career of 10 years a lockdown where you're not shooting weddings. Like people are getting married every year for the history of your career for the last 10, 15 years.
Always got married.
And then now no one gets married. Like, what do you do? Yeah. Like,
it's a giant wrench that gets thrown in your plan. And yeah, I think, look, I've seen the conversations online, diversify your income, have multiple streams. Yeah. It's great. Like,
which is true.
It's absolutely true. I believe that's what you should do. I think you and I have been like exercising that for as long as I've known you. But the reality is most people that start a business, they know that they're not going to make money for like the first couple of years straight up. Yeah. But that's a reality. If you open up a place, you're going to have employees. You're like, I gotta pay them before I get paid. Right. It's a while before I get paid. One of my boys owns a gym, and he posted the other day. He's owned this place for like 3 years, and he's like, I just gave myself my first paycheck.
You said 30 or 3?
3. Okay. So I just gave myself my first paycheck like back in March. Yeah. And for a lot of people, like who just walk into businesses like you and I, customers, whoever it is, you see places that are somewhat busy, customers coming in and out. Yeah. But you have no idea.
They're operating at a loss. You have no idea.
The margins are so thin. They're crazy thin.
You're like, oh, it looks nice in here. It's like, yeah, I'm still paying this off.
And it's like you brought up, you brought up ripple effects. Yeah. They when they announced the lockdown, it was I think it was on like a Friday. So then
you didn't give them a chance.
Yeah, it was Friday. They announced on a Friday, and they said it goes into effect tomorrow. Yeah. Right. So it's like, all right, bet. Like everyone.
Like that means you're not even ready by Monday. Like there's nothing.
Everyone in the fitness industry was like, fuck. All these people that were signed up for classes,
like the following week,
we gotta call them. Be like, because actually, let me go back a week further.
Or was it a Thursday?
No.
I think they gave you one day.
No. It was on the Friday.
It was on the Friday.
But this is what happened, right? So for gyms specifically, right? Group fitness studios, they said when you came back, you had to operate at half capacity. Right. That was from the
first one. The
very nature of group fitness, the model doesn't make sense if you have half capacity. Right. You need more people, but whatever. They were like, all right, we were just like, we'll figure it out. Yeah. So then they figured it out. And then out of nowhere, the government, like last 2 weeks ago, was like, all right, 10 people. We're like, what? Like they reduced the number.
Reduce from the reduction.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, like where are you getting this number from? Because there's no outbreaks. We're like, fuck it. Like we're just gonna do what you have to do. And then Friday, they said, effective immediately, closing out. Everything has to close. Period. Everything has to stop operating starting tomorrow. So people were teaching classes Friday. Yeah. And then literally, I know it was Friday because I was getting my hair done. Right? Yeah. Teaching classes Friday. Literally next day, you had to cease operations. So for us,
this is crazy.
People were like, fuck, we got to call all these people. Classes are canceled, but we'll credit you, blah, blah, blah. But then I started thinking about restaurants, right? So restaurants had to cease indoor dining the next day, right? It's getting colder. People don't want to, people can still sit outside, but it's going to suck, right? But anyway, you operate at razor thin margins. Already. So restaurants already, even when things are good, they're already operating at like razor thin margins.
And people are barely coming in already.
Right? So now they say, all right, no more indoor dining. Period. It's the beginning, Ryan. It's the beginning of the month. Like we're almost at the halfway now.
Yeah. When it happened, When
it happened, it's like beginning of the month. These restaurants have already bought like so much products, all these things
waste
that now are gonna get wasted. Like it's crazy.
They don't care.
So then people are saying, now restaurants are saying like, yo, like if you can, like think about ordering takeout. Cause like you don't actually realize the ripple effects of like how these things affect everyone.
They're not even taking account to like just simple courtesy of like giving like, why do I have to give you 2 weeks to quit my job, but you can't give me 2 weeks to freaking close my business?
For real?
Like, close my business?
Yeah.
You're gonna give me 24 hours to close my business, but you're telling someone, "Oh, give someone 2 weeks for courtesy before you quit your job." So they're not even taking into account that like whatever plans you had, fuck all that.
Fuck
like,
all that. Yeah.
You could have been
get rid of it.
What do you mean just get rid of it? Like people could have had things planned, could have had meetings booked, could have just invested a whole bunch of money.
Done.
Could have. I don't know if you could do that, but
Done.
I mean, close it up.
Done.
It's crazy.
It's wild. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like there's a notion from a lot of people that they don't think it's gonna last 28 days. They think it's gonna last more.
100%.
Yeah, like
because you already know how when even with the lockdown first came, like if in March they said this is about to last the next 5 months, people are like, "Yo, fuck you!" Like, that's what they'd say. Yeah. So they did 30 days, and then when we got to day 27, they'd say 30 more days. When we got to day 27, they say 30 more days. Like, just to kind of wean you closer and closer, just kind of give you some type of hope, and just so your patience isn't like completely destroyed. Like, every time you get to the 28th day, you're like, okay, maybe it's 2 more weeks. You're like, all right, I can do 2 more weeks. And it's a mental thing. Like it's a mental game, really.
It is. But you know what? Like it's getting to a point where
we're tired of it.
Like, here's the thing. I'll entertain conspiracy theories, but I'm not a conspiracist. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's getting, I hate what these lockdowns are making me think. You know what I mean? Like, because it's starting to make me think there's some pure foolishness going on. Like, I recognize this
like an ulterior motive.
Yeah, like I recognize this shit's real. I know it's a problem because I've seen how it's gonna be a problem. Yeah. I know people can get it because I know people have gotten it.
But you're talking about the solution.
But what they're doing makes no.
Is this removing the threat?
I don't know. Like, it's not even removing the threat. I cannot believe, based on the decisions they made, that people could willingly be this stupid in terms of decisions that they make. I have to imagine there's something else going on because you can't be this dumb. Like how?
What do you mean?
Okay, so
like people like the 1,700 people from warehouse thing, like that stuff.
No, forget that. Like the other day, I reposted the TO Publica Health, right? They're like their official page.
Oh, and
the numbers, right? Like they post every week. Like these are the updates. These are the updates.
Was it?
And the problem with the updates that they show you, goes back to the social dilemma. Like the way that information is presented, it makes things seem scarier than they are. So they were saying like as of October 11th, what's today, the 14th? Yeah. 13th? So as of October 11th, 2 p.m., right? In Ontario, the total cases that we've had in Ontario since this whole thing has begun has been like 23,000, right? But
since March kind of thing? Okay.
Yes, but in brackets underneath, it says 315 are new. You get what I'm saying? So
are recent.
Yes, recent. And then next to it, it says currently hospitalized, 106. That is as of October 11th. But 12 are new. So as of October 11th, 12 people have been hospitalized. Right? But in total, it's 106.
Okay.
Deaths, 1,300. 0 new. Right? Recovered, in total, 18,957. 234 of those are new. So when I read those numbers, I say to myself, like I know this thing's real.
But out of a large capacity,
it's less than 1%. It's less than 1% of Ontario has been affected by this because we closed the borders in the beginning. Right. That's how big reason why it's just not out of control. But when you read those numbers, you say to yourself, all right, like we know this is a problem, but you guys are now crippling the economy over
a very minuscule number. And not saying people's lives don't matter, but it's like the
numbers don't justify the action.
Shutting down,
That's
period,
what I'm
indefinitely.
saying. It does not justify the action. Like, we're not. I think
if that number was still at 15,000, 100%,
yes,
cut it out.
Yeah,
like
if you said total cases 22,000 and then currently hospitalized, if currently hospitalized was way higher,
even if currently hospitalized was 1,000,
yeah,
you'd be like,
that's a lot.
Well,
like
in the hospital right now, 1,000 specifically for COVID. That's
because
100
in the province of Ontario alone.
Yeah,
we have I think 368 hospitals.
Okay,
right. So you have 1,000 people in a hospital. Like, yeah, like that's
cramming it.
That's cramming it, right? Currently hospitalized 106 out of cumulatively out of 368 hospitals. So when I say these things, I hate how it makes me sound like I don't believe this shit's real.
No,
you know what I mean? But it's like
people may interpret it as not that you don't believe things are real, but they may interpret it that, well, it should be at 0. Well, first of all, 0 is not realistic.
Yeah,
because
be realistic.
There's the timelines of when someone gets it to when it's diagnosed to when the symptoms comes. Like you'll never be at 0 until like it really like subsides complete, or there's a vaccine. Yeah. Right. But we can operate and function with there being a low percentage. Like we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to operate knowing that there are people that still have it and take the steps to prevent it from spreading. But to shut down indefinitely,
like, it makes no sense.
This is actually forcing a recession.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Like they're
like a force-feeded recession.
They're forcing it, and on top of that, there's just no logic being applied here. And it's like, I know that
protection for the people.
Yeah, like I know that because we're not in their position.
Yeah.
If I'm playing devil's advocate, there might be some information that they're privy to that we're not. Right?
No, there probably is.
But the reality is, there's no logic here. Yeah. Like the majority of the population here, first of all, we're not old. So that's a big plus. We don't have to worry about killing off most of the population. But then 2, it's just, I think people recognize like, like we just want to get this over with. So we're doing what we have to in order for that to happen. Right. But you guys aren't helping us by putting in these lockdowns. No one would care. No one would care if they said, all right, we're going to lock everyone down, but businesses were going to take care of you guys.
That's the problem.
There you go.
Because had they said, okay, another lockdown, cease all rent costs, cease all mortgages, just, don't worry about this, stay home, blah, blah. Like, but they're kind of like, everything remains the same, but you can't make money. It's like, what?
I want you to go run this race, but I'm going to chop off your foot.
Still win, though.
Still win. Make sure you finish, though.
Like, what? Like,
how does that make sense? It doesn't.
Like, why? It honestly sounds silly, but like, why isn't rent and all these things? Anytime you have these lockdowns, why isn't everything paused? Like, you can't just pause one side of the game.
Like, for real.
It's literally like a video game and a man pressing pause.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta go to the washroom. You're like, okay, press pause. And you leave and they unpause and start whooping your ass. While you're in the bathroom and you come back and you lost. You're like, what the fuck was that? It's like,
pretty much.
I paused the game. Oh, yeah. I mean, I unpaused it. But I wasn't even here. I don't know. Yeah. New game? Like, rematch?
Take this elbow. Like that's actually what it is.
Fuck.
It's wild. So I don't know, man. Like, I think there's gonna be some long-term problems to come from this.
Yeah.
But who the fuck knows, man? It's crazy. But let's get into the question of the week, right? But hold on. I actually want to go over this question. Like, the video that we posted last week, I just seen some interesting comments on it, right? It was about, when you like something, the algorithm is really just your brain when you're liking stuff. So this guy, Jonathan Blaney, he said, not sure I have the correct context or not, but I don't think if a guy is in a relationship, he should be liking photos of other women. Normal or crazy hot doesn't make it a difference in my opinion. Every woman is obtainable. The hotter the woman, the easier it is to obtain her. Most women would rate a 10 out of 10, have low self-esteem, and are constantly competing with other 10s. Regardless, unless you are single, I don't feel you should be liking pics of other women to begin with. Huh. Your face is killing me. I mean, the crux of what he's saying is if you're in a relationship, don't like photos of other women.
Read the one that the married person said.
Well, hold on. Maxwell Morgan agrees with Charlie. She said, unfortunately, that's the truth. Elegantly spoken. There's no debating this point. The best policy for men in relationships: stay away from liking these pics. And then
there's someone who said,
Nina?
as a married woman.
Nina? Yes. As a married woman, I take the stance that there are billions of seashells on the beach. Plenty of them are beautiful. I see them. My husband sees them. Metaphor for the women on IG. To seek out their pages is one thing. It's like going out of your way to go and get the seashell on the beach. But to simply deny you don't see the beauty would be, well, a lie. However, there are many ways that you can handle liking a page respectfully by moving on, by knowing what you saw was attractive. Charlie, since what you had to say was very well put.
That stance is a very mature and rational stance, because this is the thing. Whatever that guy said, simply just not liking it is unnatural, and it's in fact more damaging, because now you're consciously stopping yourself from doing something that is just a natural response to you. And not saying that, okay, yeah,
me liking this means I'm going
to, me liking this means I'm gonna do anything, but it's like that lady, what's her name, who said it? The woman?
Nina. Like
Nina said, like, we can't pretend it doesn't exist. And that is the problem. Like, I'm not like, why are we acting like I didn't just scroll by a pretty girl? Like, she is pretty, cool.
Or a pretty man.
That's like, a pretty guy, cool. Like, we don't have to force ourselves to not accept that we can consider someone attractive.
Yeah.
Like, you have your girlfriend, and you can still see a pretty woman and say that's a pretty woman. And if you like it, you're like, I do believe this person's pretty, but then move on. I'm not gonna pretend like, nope, she's not pretty. Yeah. I don't like this. Like, that's not. Stop it. You do like it, but don't do any further actions on that like, or on that first, visual response. There's nothing wrong with accepting, like, yes, this is a really pretty ass girl. You like it? Yeah, I physically like this, or mentally like this, and that is it. I will not act on this. Like, it's almost the exact same thing as being in public and seeing a pretty girl walk by and you stare at her. You staring essentially is like you liking her photo. Yeah, because you staring means she has your attention for that 2 seconds, right? Or you say, don't stare at girls in your I'm gonna look. You can't, like, it's silly. Yeah. The equivalent of you liking a photo on Instagram is the same as you taking the couple seconds to look at a girl in public, because you're accepting that, yes, I clearly find this person attractive. Yeah. And we've already established, like, sometimes we like people is unconscious or subconscious or unconscious. We're not saying, like, you're not liking because you're like, yes, I find this person attractive. This is why I'm here. Sometimes you're just doing it. Yeah. But let's just say for the most part, you're liking it because you're like, yeah, it's a good picture of this person. She's pretty. And you move on. It's the exact same thing as walking in the mall with your girl. Someone probably not, you're not going to turn your buck your head when you're with her. But like, if you're walking by yourself, because usually you're on your app by yourself. So you're walking by yourself, you have a girlfriend at home or a wife at home or a husband at home, and you see a pretty girl or a pretty guy and you stare at her, like, that's not a sin. Like, you can't pretend like you aren't attracted to it. Like, why are we? It's just now if you go follow and trail her, it's a different problem now. Yeah. If you go slide into her DM, that's a different problem now. Like, but the simple act of liking or staring, okay, you stared it, acknowledge this is an attractive person. Yeah. Move on. Like, that's healthy.
Hey, man.
That's health.
Hey, man. I got it.
Shit.
Like, all right. So question this week was, is it necessary for your partner to be friends with your friends? Do you prefer to keep those relationships separate or inclusive?
There's a lot of half and half in these responses.
So, Body by AP, she said, separate. I don't mix.
Straight.
Like, straight
to the point.
Lost Boy B, he said, your friends are the ones who have an unbiased view on your partner. And if they're real, they'll tell you if that's worth your time or not. That's also how you can tell if they all vibe or not. I think they have to be cool, but not besties or anything. Do you think your friends have an unbiased view?
No.
I was gonna say,
It's
like,
impossible.
that's possible.
Like,
Your friends would have a very
the most biased
view.
towards you.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
silly.
what?
It's silly. But no.
Like, let me just make sure I read that correctly. Your friends are the ones who have an unbiased view on your partner.
And
no, they don't.
No, they don't. They have the view through your lens that which most benefits you. But what they're intending on saying or trying to say is that, or I'm assuming they're trying to say, is that your friends aren't in the relationship. So from the outside, they're like, just based on the facts.
Yeah.
Like, it's still not unbiased, but like, it's just not as concentratedly influenced. Yeah. Because you're in the relationship. So you're like, oh, this girl's crazy. She's this, she's that. They weren't in that room when you guys were going off at each other. So they're like, okay, just tell us a story as is. Yeah. Without your personal
that's
input.
The only way your friends can be unbiased.
Right.
If you literally say, this is exactly what happened and how I fucked up, how she fucked, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because most times people don't do that.
Yeah. You're like, nah, she's a bitch. She's fucking doing this. And then now they're already tainted because you already came to the conversation angry. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course she is. Yeah. Like you already persuaded them. So you lost the quick unbiasedness that you had. But yeah.
Lexi Shanti Alexandria, she said a good mix of both is important. Nicole, longtime listener, she says should be able to attend events together, but on the day to day, I'm cool with them being separate. It's good to have a balance of things shared together and things done independently. I agree with that.
So I had a situation where I was dating somebody and I honestly didn't give a fuck about her friends. Like, and that was solely because of how they treated her and, you know, just my perspective when I'm around them, like, that just didn't seem like they were good people. Like, but to them, like, that's my best friend. That's this. It's like, cool. Like, yeah, sure, that's your best friend, but I don't fuck with them. And like, and not that I know them personally, but just from the vibe I get from them and how they treat you and what I see, I'm like, I don't really fuck with that. Like, especially as my girlfriend, like, I don't really want you even being with friends like that. But it's not my place to be like who you should be friends with. So I would always just kind of stay out of it. I'd be like, listen, yo, like, this is what you said about this person and you're still going to be friends with them. Hey, do your thing. But I'm telling you right now, I am not going to make an effort to be friends with the person. Yeah. And that kind of caused, like, not the issue, but kind of like, I want you guys to be good. And I'm like, we're not going to be good. I don't like your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So those are tough situations because when your partner is like, I want my friends to be good with my partner, blah, blah, and your partner's like, I don't like your friends. Like, those are very difficult situations,
dude. It's like, it's very difficult.
I'm supposed to be good. We're not gonna be good. I don't like your friend. I will let you be friends with that person because that's your friend. But you're not gonna make me like your friends. Yeah. Right. And I think that's where it gets very like,
it's a hard road to come back from. And it's so weird. Like, I found out recently that I was one of those friends
that people didn't like that someone didn't like.
Yeah. I
found for their partner,
ex-partner. I found that out and I was like, what? Like, I was that guy, which is kind of wild when you think about me as a person. You're like, how did that even happen?
Like, someone's like, I don't like Zamora for you as your friend. Basically.
No.
Like in short term.
Kind of. What they said was, you're more like Zamora than you are like someone else in our group. Which means that like
use you as an example?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Because this person seemed to have more fun when they were with me than they did when they hung out with our other friends.
Sure.
So that person didn't like that. Right. So when I was on that side of it, I was like,
that person didn't like the fun.
Yeah, I was like, this entire time I'm thinking, yo, I thought I was on really good terms with this person. Yeah. And I realized, oh shit, like, she actually didn't like me. Wow. Right. But then I've also been on the other side of it where I'm just like, yeah, I don't fuck with I really don't fuck with your friends
at all.
But then I've also been on the side of it where
you've been good with friends.
I've been good with friends, but I've been on the other side where I legit don't even really know your friends at all.
And I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it, but I still, okay, I'm okay with it if I think you're if I've come to realize you're like a kind of like a private person. It's not like you have a ton of friends.
Mm-hmm,
You got like a few friends. They don't live close, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't really see them. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It bothers me if like
If you're always with the person, if they're always with their friend, but you don't know them, kind of thing.
yes,
That's weird. Yeah,
that's super weird to me.
that's weird.
Because
Like if you're not always out with them and you just have friends that I just haven't met. Yeah, but it's like if you're constantly chilling with them
yeah.
and you're like, who are these people that you keep going with?
How do I not know?
Like,
And
yeah,
I think it's because for me, I'm the type that typically introduces my partner or any of my partners to all my friends.
right.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
Is
but it doesn't mean that you're always going to see my friends. It's
right. just kind of like this. Hey,
Yeah,
this is who it is. Cool.
This is who they are. Like you'll see them. You'll probably see them at some
At
point.
some point, right?
If they come out here, if we go out, you're probably going to see
Right.
them.
Well, are you making deliberate efforts to be like, can you like come? Like my friends can be like, I want you to.
No, it's more like I will always invite my partners out if I'm going out with my friends. If they want to come, they want to come. If they don't, they don't. Right?
But it's never like, come on, like I really need.
No, it's never been like
I
that.
need you to be there. Come on.
It's never been like that.
Yeah.
No. The only times where it's remotely close to that is if I was like,
A birthday party or something.
birthday party, or if I was introducing Jamie to like some of my girl friends here who now became her friends, who are now her friends.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like they're almost more her friends than they are mine. But yeah, I think that's hella weird. I think it's super weird.
So do you think you'd be able to, well, probably not based on what you just said. Like,
What's the question?
you think you ever be able to not mix your friends with your partner? Or is that something you kind of need?
No. So I don't need my friends to mix, right? Like I don't need my friends and my partner to mix. It's not a necessity for me. I just absolutely can't have like one or the other hating them each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm at a point in my life now where the tight group of friends that I have, unless some crazy fuck shit happens, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So it'd be hard.
It's like you have to choose forever.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Yeah.
At some point, if I I'm single, I meet someone and they're like, I don't like these people. I'm like,
It'd be like,
I don't know.
these are the people. These are the people.
Like, these are people.
These are the people. I mean, hey.
These are people. I don't know what to tell you. You just came into my life. Like the odds are not in your favor right now.
Do you think there's any chance, like even let's just say even with Jamie, for example, so some weird thing happens and now she doesn't like your friends.
Yeah.
Or one of them, one of your best friends. Let's say Chris. She doesn't like Chris. So randomly something happens. I don't really fuck with him. And you'd be like, why? Like, what are you talking about? Just rub me the wrong way. Like, what would you put them in the room and be like, fix this? Or would you kind of just allow that and be like, fuck, that's just gonna be how it is?
I don't think I would put them in the same room to fix it. I think what I would do, I think I would go the more difficult route of trying to
mediate. Like,
have conversations with them separately to understand what the fuck is going on. Like, why?
What if there's nothing came through? She's like, I mean, yeah, sure, I hear what you're saying, but I don't really fuck with him, man. Like, I get it, but
then it is what it is. Like,
you just allow that.
Yeah, I'd be like, listen, you're gonna have to get used to. I would tell Chris, be like, I don't know what happened. Jamie doesn't seem to fuck with you, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna stop fucking with you.
Yeah.
But then I have to explain to Jamie, like, look, this is my best friend. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I've lived with that. Like I had one of. I don't want to say had a best friend. He's still one of my boys. But like when I was dating one of my exes, she hated this guy.
Yeah.
Like she hated him.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of those things where I was like, fuck, like what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like I would tell, because he was kind of a fuck boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he knew this. So there wasn't much I could do to change him.
Like,
and I was like, it is
like, I know why she doesn't like you.
Yeah, I know this. And it's not like she has invalid reasons why.
Yeah.
I got to chalk it up to the game.
Right.
So I just had to, you know.
So that's what I'm saying. But that makes more sense. I'm saying if it's something where you can't actually understand it, like that, you're like, you know, I kind of know he's a fuck boy. I know she doesn't really like that type of people. So that I know why she doesn't like him. So it's kind of that. But if it's kind of just like she just has her own, and you're like, what's wrong with it? I don't know. I just like, and you're just like, in your mind, you're like, there's no reason.
Yeah.
But she's like, I just like, and then she's like, he's not coming to the wedding, for example.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild.
Is it wild?
Yes.
If your wife,
I need to know why. You need to give me a concrete reason why.
say she gives you a reason because I don't feel comfortable with him, and it's just it's usually girls can get away with comfort. I'm just not comfortable. But I'm just not comfortable with him.
I know that would cause. I can honestly say that would cause problems. I can truthfully say that.
But how do they get solved?
I don't know because I don't want to be in that position. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
I can truthfully say, like, imagine like a girl says to you, it's different because it's your cousin.
Yeah.
But I consider the relationship you have with Justin like a best friend too. Yeah. So I'd be like, what if they said, I don't really like Justin? That's a problem.
That's an issue.
That's a big issue. And this is your partner. It's someone you love. But they say this to you. Yeah. You're like, what? In my head, I'm thinking, why are you putting me in this position now?
It's selfish.
Why are you doing this? Why are you being so selfish? This isn't fair to me.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It happens in life. I know it happens.
It's honestly like I have noticed. Yeah, I mean, COVID related as well. That obviously is a factor, but I haven't really I've been dating Lila for a bit now, just over a month and a bit now, and like I was saying, COVID related, like I haven't really brought her around my friends, like that. She see my family and stuff, but but also I'm not even really with my friends like that. Yeah. So like that's also a reason, but at the same time, like I also might be an age thing where like I'm not overly concerned. Like she hasn't given me any red flags, and like in social gatherings and stuff where I'm like, I need to know if she's good with my I feel like she's mature enough that when the time comes, if we cross, like I don't have like a personal urge to be like, I need to make sure this person sees this person or introduce, like it's kind of like if it happens, cool. When that happens, but I definitely know when I was like younger, like if my friends didn't like my girl, like I would usually be like, I probably will
not date that girl.
Yeah,
sure, okay.
Like, cause it's just one of those, like, it's one of those things where it's like I never want an ultimatum. I never want to have to choose.
I fully get that,
right? And it's just go ahead.
You know what I noticed though? I think with your guy friends, they will. Let's say your guy friends don't like your girl, right? Or a girl that you're seeing. They actually like won't really tell you. They won't say. They won't tell you
like straight out,
unless
it's something wild.
Yeah, it has to be something crazy.
I really don't like that girl.
But it has to be something crazy, especially at this age.
Yeah.
If I think the older you get,
guys will be more straight up with you.
They'll be more straight up.
Yeah.
But even then, if they just see you with this girl and they see, okay, my boy's happy, even if I don't really fuck with the person, I'm not really gonna say much.
Yeah.
Right. But then after, if you guys break up,
they'll say all the things.
They'll say some shit. But I think with women, like your female friends, right? They won't say anything in the beginning if they don't like your girl.
Yeah.
But it's very passive aggressive. Mm-hmm. Like there's like they're letting you know without saying it. And then when it's over,
they have all the things.
They really
say
have everything.
All the things.
Because even when it's over with the guys, they say things, but it's not like, oh, I've been waiting to get this off my chest.
They're more just like, I kind of had a feeling about her.
But the girls are like, let me get my notebook.
Yeah.
Like
I've been tracking this.
I've been waiting to say this.
Yeah.
And I know this because I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Have you had that happen to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
you go.
Girls have the whole track record. It's like, I knew this wasn't going to work. I'm like, what? What do you knew? What are you talking? You in your mind, you knew this wasn't going to work, and you've been saying nothing. You're telling me right now, I knew this wouldn't work. That is confidence, but yet every day leading to this point, you've said nothing.
Nothing.
That's crazy.
You just let me wallow in my own.
I knew it wouldn't work out. What?
That has to be one of the shittiest statements anyone can ever say to you. It's actually super wild. It's always says to you after it's done. Yeah, I just had a feeling it wasn't gonna work. What do you mean? Like
you've been seeing me for the last few months? It's like
you're supposed to be hoping for the best for me. What are you talking about? You're telling me you just knew. Fuck out of here.
Oh man.
Hitman 19. He said, "What's your real name?" Shadame. Hitman 19, stop this. He said, I feel like minimum They have to be cordial enough to where they can all be in the same room together and share laughs. I don't know for everyone, but for me, approval from the inner circle around me is essential. If the man them don't approve, it's not happening. I
think that's that was my mentality younger.
This guy seems like he might be a little bit younger too.
I was definitely there younger. Like if my boys didn't approve, I'd be like, yeah, probably just a smash thing. Like I would literally shift my mind from like I'll date this girl to be like, you guys really like, nah, I'm not really feeling her. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna smash it then. It would like almost instantaneously be like, no,
switch.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't date them. Not gonna lie, you know.
Marion, she said, I'm good with cordial. I don't need them to be best friends. You can't go and form a relationship of your own without me in the loop.
Yeah, that's strange.
You can't go and form a relationship of your own without me in the loop.
Yeah, like imagine Jamie became friends with Chris on their own.
Is that what she's saying though, or is she saying like in general? Like
no, I think she's saying like say you like, oh, Jamie, this is Chris is Jamie. Cool. That was, you did the intro, but then on their ones they're like,
yeah, hanging out, became
friends. Well, that's your friend. We're just friends, right?
Yeah.
I know Chris through you.
Yeah.
Me and Chris went to lunch. You're like, what? Why? No, just you like him, right?
Yeah.
Like it is.
He's
gonna be like, what the fuck? You guys just planned this on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was on lunch and I was near him. What the fuck?
It definitely it definitely is a little
like, even if nothing was happening, you still be like, what the hell?
It's strange.
What the hell is that?
It is a little strange. For sure. Like it's weird. Like
what the hell is that?
You don't want your best friends to become your
close, like
to become your girl's like best friend until like you're married, and then even then it's like they're your brothers. They're not your whatever. You know what I mean?
Me and Chris went to lunch. What?
What are you talking about?
What the hell's going on?
I don't know. Too sure. He said separate. He just said straight up separate. Period. Separate. Keep them separate. His friends and his partner, they do not need to be friends. Like at all. He's like, keep them separate. I don't want to see them mingle at all.
Not even
what that tells me, because the question was this, right? The question was, is it necessary for your partner to be friends with your friends? He says separate. I don't want my friends to be friends with my partner. What that tells me is that he's doing some dog shit.
Filth. This guy's like, you guys can never cross.
That his friends know.
And he knows for a fact his friends have loose mouths. He's like, if they ever get my friends in the room, they will crack. Like she cannot ever see my boys ever. They will crack. I don't trust these guys at all.
Oh my god.
I think that's actually a big factor now I think about it.
What?
Crossbreeding your friends and your girl, or your friends and your man. I think a big factor has to be how much you trust your boys or your girl or your girls.
No, that's real,
because I think like if you're really cool with your boys, you're like, yeah, come through, like whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's like, super real, because when I brought up earlier that my boy who's kind of a fuck boy, right? I remember it wasn't even because it's not like I was doing whack shit when I was with him.
It was just him.
But it's because I just knew. He's
too reckless.
He's too reckless. Like he would say certain things,
and you're like, it's gonna put you in a spot. And it's not even a spot.
The spot it would put me. Yo, I'll never forget this. Yeah. I'll never forget this. Right? This guy was a fuckboy. Yeah. So when I first met him, I was like, yeah, I got a girl, blah blah. He's like, oh, let me see. So I showed him my IG, and first fuckboy thing he does, he said, yo, she
follows her?
No. He's like, she got any hot friends?
Oh,
and I'm like,
trying to get inner circle.
I'm like,
you're like, can you not get inner circle, please?
I'm like, I guess, like, yeah, like, what am I can't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like good looking friends, like do your thing, like, okay. So he does that, and like on his own, on his one. He doesn't tell me. One day, we all go to dinner. I don't know where we're at. Probably watching a Humber basketball game. My ex is there, and he just says like there was a party afterwards, and he's like, "Yo, you should invite your friends." But he named them. He
named her friends.
He named
in her face.
He named a friend in her face.
And then she's probably like, "What the fuck?"
Exactly. So immediately,
you're like, "How do you know my friends?" Oh, Samar told me.
Right?
What?
Because I think word for word what he said was, he's like, yo, you should invite your hot friend Christina.
And she's probably looking at him like, what the fuck is this?
So immediately, my brain starts thinking,
Zamora thinks
my girl thinks that
Zamora thinks she's hot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Zamora gave her my hot friend. Zamora gave him my hot friend.
That's what we mean when we talk about trust.
Yeah.
Like, as you get older, you're like, oh, okay, I trust my boys.
Yeah.
They're not going to say anything reckless. They're not dumb. You know what I mean?
Like, they're not dumb.
They're not stupid. So I can lead them around the party. We're talking about them like they're puppies. You know what I mean? Like, I can lead them around.
That's actually the confidence you had that you're like, I can be like, yo,
I'm here on their own.
You guys are in the house together. I'll get some ice. I'm gonna drive and get some ice, and you guys are fine. I should not be like, you know what? Come with me.
Yeah,
come with me.
Those 15,
just come.
Right, I know.
No, I can stay here. No, you come.
Yeah, I know you have been in this position because I totally have. Like, you have that moment where you think to yourself,
I shouldn't have left them.
I shouldn't have left them together.
I shouldn't have left them together. No way, not by yourself. They're oh yeah, one time some more, like nah, nah,
enough of that.
They come like, oh, I love your friends. What'd you guys say? Oh no, we just chatted.
Jesus, it's just so wild. No one ever talks about this, but it's so real.
It's real shit. That should be a question. Are you able to leave your girl with your friends?
Yeah,
or do you have to take her?
Let's take her with you.
Do you have to take her where you go, or can you leave her with your friends? Oh man,
Kiki said, they don't need to be friends with each other, but I'd at least like it if they get along. If we're all gonna hang out for some reason, I need to know that nothing's gonna pop off. I think that's like the bare. Like,
question: are you somewhat similar? Are you open to double dates? Are you a pro double dater?
So here's the thing: I'm absolutely not opposed to it at all.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen often with me in my relationships.
Like, because you don't plan them?
It's not that I don't plan. So look, I can say this honestly. My ex, not very social. Like, she was not a very social person. So we didn't do all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I also don't think she likes a lot of my friends, right?
Yeah.
And then my current partner, we could totally do double dates. But I think some of it also comes down to compatibility. I think the best way a double date
with the other couple.
Yeah, I think like the way a double date can be sick is if you know the other couple matches up with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that plays into it. You can't
just force a couple together.
You can't go on a doubles date and the other couple are like lame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Imagine you and your partner you like to have a couple drinks, but the other couple, they don't drink at all.
Don't drink, and they're just, you guys are okay.
It's like, now you and your partner looking at these people like, who are these bozos that we went on a date with?
Yeah.
Like,
it's interesting. I feel like, I mean, I'm not in everyone's relationships, but I feel like double dates are not as common as they used to be.
They're definitely not.
They're
definitely not.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure people are still doing it. I've done a few in my life, but like, I know there's a time like when we were younger, like oh, you bring your girl, I bring my girl, and we'll do this thing, like, and people are just kind of used to that. You know? Yeah,
I mean, but the other thing too,
3 men, 3 girls, you just, whatever.
The other thing too is I think a lot of it comes down to the person's, COVID, but the person's sociability, right? Like I'm a people person. Like I don't feel, I would say I'm a social butterfly, but I like going out talking to people and shit. My partner's not really like that. She's like that with her close friends, but not in a public setting. Yeah. So to put someone in a position where it's like, I need you to be social tonight. Yeah. you know what I'm saying? That can be uncomfortable for some people. You know? So I think that's where it comes down to, right? But double dates and like triple dates work, especially if they work if the girls are like, if
the girls are good, the guys are figured out. That's true.
It's an automatic win if the girls
are good, the guys will figure it out.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, as long as they're good, like we're fine. It's
and that's the thing.
It's when the girls are catty, you're like, this is not gonna be a good time. Like,
that's the thing. It can be such a weird, even if they're not catty, like women are just really good at unless a girl really does not fuck with this other person and they just have to get it off their chest, they're really good at just
like
being
poker face.
And then when you get home, they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really like that girl.
Next time you say, oh, let's go out.
Nah, I don't really like that girl.
I don't know.
It's like, it was so good
You're
last
like,
time.
What?
Yeah.
I had no clue. Right?
Yeah.
Last one from Nicole. She said, inclusive. She needs it to be inclusive. As my friends are an extension of myself, my vision is a family unit, which includes my friends. I need to know you'll be there to support them if needed. This applies to me as well for my man and his friends.
Yeah. You know what though? I think it's an age and time frame thing where it's like friends become more relevant as you get older and you use them for different things. Like I feel like like for example, I think it's a good thing to get to know your girl's friends when you're ready to get married. Yeah. Because then you know what she kind of likes. Like you'll need her friends' input for moments like that. Yeah. That's not something you do on the once. Yeah. So like you do have to have some type of relationship with your girl's friends to get to different steps. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm like I think it's a timing thing where it's like, okay, and I also think at those moments you'll make the effort. Yeah. I don't think it's a thing where it's like the girl's like, I want you to be friends with my girls. I think you'll be like, when you're ready to like kind of, when you know like, okay, this is the one for me, whatever, I think you'll start like reaching out to their friends like, yo, like, okay, like I'm trying to do this thing. Like I think you'll just create that relationship on your own. Yeah. For necessity. And not like you're using them, but kind of like, okay, I'm getting to a point now where like, you guys are probably gonna be here forever. I'm about to, get to that step with her. Like, yeah, maybe I should start to get to know you a little bit. Get to know you a little bit more. But when you're ready, though, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think get married to someone and not know them. Yeah,
but I think that relationship has to come from the other partner. I think your girl has to reach out to your boys and be like, on her own, be like, all right, like I'm trying to do this some more. Like even like for surprise birthday parties or stuff like that. Like those don't come from you. It's the girl that's like, okay, I want to do something for him. I have gaps in my knowledge. Yeah, I need to know his friends for this, so they will make that initiative if they want to do those things. Yeah. So I think when it comes in that route, it's healthier than you being like, yo, like I need you to be with the, because then your boys are like, all right, yeah, like I guess we'll be your friend because you said so, but rather her making the effort to be like, you know what, like, hey guys, like I know we don't really talk like that, but I kind of need some help. Like, and I think that natural relationship from their own outreach is like healthier and vice versa. Like if you reach out to her girls like, hey, help me get this ring for her. Like I don't really know what the fuck's going on. Like, and like, yeah, we got you. I think those friendships become more like, even though it's out of necessity, I feel like it becomes more authentic. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I just think, you didn't say anything I disagree with. It's an age thing, as you get older, like your perspective.
Because what do you need their friends for earlier than that? Nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think back honestly to when I was younger in relationships and the type of relationship I had with my girl's friends. It wasn't even serious. It's not even like I talk to these people today.
No. No,
I don't talk to any of them. Like I'm sure none of them give a fuck about me. I'm their friend's ex. Like that's it. That's what I'm relegated to. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it isn't until later stages in life where that significantly changes.
We're like, okay, I should start investing some time into them. Yeah, for a reason. Like not just because I want to be friends. I don't need to be your friend's friend.
It's weird. It's weird times.
There's something I want to talk about. What happened? I start writing shit down. Keep forgetting. So much shit happens in the week sometimes. Oh, LeBron won. What?
Oh yeah, won the ship.
Like, yeah.
It's great.
What do you think about his speech? So time for to respect me, blah, 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 all that.
Okay, so honestly, like,
earn my respect.
I'm gonna be biased because I'm a LeBron stan. But the thing is,
was that out of line or was that regular?
I think it's regular. Like from what we seen, LeBron first time he won a ship, he was like, "Hey now," like he's holding up the ship. I think it's on brand for him only because time and time again, we've seen that the people who are the best are also the most sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I personally did not know Michael Jordan was as sensitive as he was until I watched the doc.
Yeah.
I knew that he was like kind of, but I didn't know how sensitive
like
he
petty
was.
And all this shit.
Yeah, I didn't know he was petty. I didn't know that like he couldn't handle the media talking about him, so he left. Like I didn't know that, right? So
like he would get crumbled in this today's society.
He get folded.
Yeah.
So if he was still that same way. So I think it's on brand. But like I saw people like, hating on it. And I was just like, look, I know you're the same people that were like, why is LeBron like saying this? He's got all these accolades, blah, blah, blah. But like, these are the same people every day on social media. I can go on social media anytime and see people calling LeBron a bum, like every day of the week, right? There are people that do not give LeBron his respect. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't say anything that was untrue. But the reality is like people just don't like LeBron. Right. That's what it comes down to, right? Like I didn't think, when he said it, I was just like, oh, true. Like it didn't seem weird to me. So
as I'm a LeBron neutral. I wouldn't say I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm a LeBron neutral. And I'm a LeBron neutral as a basketball player. Yeah. Because I love basketball, period. I don't really care. Yeah. Like, I'll never disrespect a basketball player. Like, you're in the NBA because you're great. Yeah. People calling NBA players shit is just, they're just
ridiculous.
Silly. Yeah. Holy shit. Stop it. Like, I respect LeBron as a basketball player, as a person, what he does. What I don't like, and we'll get into it quickly, but there's the comparisons to Jordans and Kobe's and blah, blah. I'm not even talking about those comparisons. I'm just comparing him with any superstar. And it frustrates me that, the whole thing with, Danny Green getting death threats and all that stuff, that's out of, our hands. People people want to be assholes about it, but Danny Green should not even be taking that shot. Period. Because
I don't know. Like,
listen, this is my argument. Because time and time again, LeBron has opportunities and put in situations where he can be the guy that everyone wants him to be and that he claims to be, and the king and this and this and that, and he shies away from these moments. If you're any superstar, not even talk about Jordan or Kobe, if you're any superstar, and I was listening to, like, I was in the same wavelength as a Famous Los video that I was watching. He's like, bro, like, these are the moments that you pray for as a kid. Like, 10 seconds on the clock, win or go home, you can knock them out and send them home, the crowd's on your back. Like, these are the moments you pray to be in as a superstar. He's like, if there's 60 guys on you, you're taking that shot. It doesn't matter. Like,
I don't know why people, like, to be honest.
But he's been in a situation, it's not even just that game. It's
I know that. Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't understand why this is still even a conversation.
Why? What is?
What you're saying when LeBron has done exactly that his entire career. Like, he's done that since year one.
Take the game winning shot?
No. That's what I'm saying.
He's always been like that way.
He, like, since high school, he's been this way. He either took the shot or he always dished it off, and he always got shit on for passing the shot. But like, this isn't new. So for when he gets these death threats, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I looked at the whole play again and what happened afterwards, right? Yeah. Drove to the basket. All 5 mans were on him. When you say these are the moments you dreamed of, right? To me, it's clear at this point that
he's not that guy.
It's not that he's not that guy. It's clear to me. You can't say he's not that guy based on the numbers he put up and then what happened afterwards.
No. When I say not that guy, like not as a bad player. I'm saying he's not the guy to do that.
No,
like,
but I mean, statistically that's inaccurate because like they proved that's not true. But like what I'm saying is, when you say these are the moments you dreamed of, it's clear to me the moments that LeBron dreamed of is getting to that moment and literally helping someone else achieve that. Like, I don't know how people don't see that. Like, time and time in his career, he gets to this point and he always finds the right person, right? People want him to, I think more people want him to be this guy, but he's always been this person who passes it off. So for me, I watched that play, he goes to the basket, literally the entire team is on him, and he passes it to a wide open Danny Green, who is supposed to just make 3-point shots.
He doesn't shoot from the top of the 3-point line. So that's just one. But yes.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
It's Danny Green. He got paid $28 million. Like, now we're making excuses for Danny Green. I understand that he had poor shooting in the finals.
Yeah.
You're wide open.
Yeah. As an NBA player, you hit that
NBA
shot.
player who specializes in 3-point shooting.
From the side.
LeBron sucked in the entire team wide open. I don't care if he specialized from the side.
But
the fact that
I'm not giving like Danny Green shit sometimes.
I know, but we're making this is what I'm saying. We're making excuses, right? If we're gonna shit on LeBron the same way, you gotta shit on. You're making excuses. You're wide open, and you're supposed to be a 3-point specialist. I don't care if it's from the corner. You shoot from everywhere.
Yeah. Technically should be able to.
Does not go in.
Right.
Morris gets the ball. One thing people always shit on LeBron for is not wanting to be that guy in the moment, right? What did you see when Morris had the ball?
We lost it.
Go back and watch it. LeBron is literally standing there waving. He's like screaming at him to give him the ball. There was still plenty of time to. Instead, Morris fucks up because he panics, passes Anthony Davis, goes out of bounds, right? I just think people pick and choose. Like, I'm not going to argue anyone saying that he's not that guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, I respect that opinion. But I think, like, people like to pick and choose. And I think the fact that this is even a conversation, I personally think that speaks more to his greatness, because he's being held to a higher level of standard that, like, players of today are just simply not. And I know this. I know this because of what we just saw happen to Kawhi. I know this, bro. Like, there's no reason that your team is up 3-1 against. I know that Denver had momentum, but there's no reason Kawhi Leonard is up 3-1. The guy that everyone was saying was the best this year, right? Like, after what happened last year, what the media anointed him. Yeah. You're up 3-1. 82-61 in the third quarter on Denver. There's no reason that you should lose that series. There's no reason in the closeout game.
It's nuts.
Closeout game, you score 2 points in the final half. But the problem is
Kawhi isn't LeBron, and we know this though.
Huh?
Kawhi is not LeBron. And we know this. But yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the problem. We say Kawhi is not LeBron after something like this has happened. But when Kawhi was playing stellar defense against the man in Miami, I never believed Kawhi was better than LeBron. I know you didn't, but come on, like,
people jump ship.
You know the way people talk. So it's like
they jump ship.
At the end of the day, like, I personally will never say LeBron's the GOAT. I will never say, like, because I cannot compare people to these eras. It's silly. It makes no sense, and it has to go both ways. Like, for people to say that if LeBron was back in the time when they weren't calling fouls, he would suffer. I'm like, you're insane, because he's a freight train. Like, they would let him get away with shit because they couldn't stop him.
He would just fly through people.
He would fly through people. Yeah. And if someone like Jordan was in today's league, he'd probably be the exact same player, killing the league, if not score more, because they call
nothing.
The refs call nothing now, and players are just taking advantage of it. It goes both ways. So I don't know. Like, I agree with you. Like, I'm not mad at it. Like, I just
and I'll say I will agree that he is definitely, LeBron absolutely is held to a higher standard than other players, but as granted though, because the whole King James and all the what comes with being LeBron and the chosen one and all this since he was in high school, like, it comes to the territory that the standard is higher, as it should be.
But he's the only player. Honestly, he's the only player in my opinion, the history of the NBA that, like, despite whatever beef people will have with him, he's the only one that's, like, actually lived up to his standard. I really believe that.
What do you mean?
Like, I've seen,
like, live up to his name, kind of thing?
I've seen players come into this league that was supposed to be the next person. It's supposed to be this guy, and they fall.
Oh, like LeBron actually became LeBron. Yeah,
he actually became. Lived up to, like, I saw a video today of someone posted on Twitter. They're like, this was played before LeBron's high school game in 2002. So this was it's not like he was the one anointing himself. This. It was a video that, like, Sports Center made. And it was basically saying, like, when you're great, people only know you by just one name. And it was, they listed, they posted, it was like a collage of like Wilt, like Duncan on Kobe,
yeah, just the
MJ,
name. Yeah.
Magic, and then they're like LeBron. How are you 16?
Yeah,
like,
and putting you in that spot.
They're putting you in this spot. Of course, you're gonna like, you know, Kanye's famous line. It's hard to be humble when you're standing on the jumbotron. Like, it really is.
Yeah.
So, you know,
we put him there, 100%. We
definitely put him there. But he's obviously,
but they try and we put him there and then try and pull him down.
But like you said though, it's just part of the game. Like you gotta hold it. Like, I'll be the first. As much as I'm a LeBron stan, I'm the first person to talk about that Dallas series. I'm the first person to talk about
swept.
Yeah, did they get swept by Dallas?
Yeah.
No, they didn't lose 4-0 to Dallas
or San Antonio.
It was San Antonio. But that was when he was in fucking Cleveland. Come on, but like that Dallas series, worst thing of his career, right? You gotta hold that L. Like, it's gonna haunt you forever, and he knows that. But it is what it is. But I don't know. This is my hot take, right? Like, I understand LeBron as an athlete is like different than most players we've seen,
like,
right? physically.
Yeah.
But I just kind of think that I understand I'm not a basketball player, but I am an athlete, and I understand where things are going in the future, right? In terms of preparation, all this type of stuff. I think he's kind of set the bar very high moving forward, not in terms of chips, because plenty of people have more chips than him.
Yeah.
But it's more so longevity. You know, there's certain things you cannot control. You can't control getting injured, like things out of your control. But it's like, there's no reason guys coming into the league today who are getting paid way more money than LeBron did when he came in. Like, there's no reason that you should not be taking care of yourself to the up. Like, it just shouldn't happen.
You have access to everything.
It literally should not happen. Like, I feel like if you're starting in the league, you should be putting a lot of money towards making sure you
can stay there and stay there,
and I can stay there. It's fucked up that this dude had one major injury. Like, that's my biggest takeaway from his career personally.
That he's been consistent.
Yeah, and that speaks more to me not being a ball player, right? Because I'm not a ball player. I look at
just from the body standpoint,
longevity, the fact that he's staying around.
Yeah.
But I understand when I listen to you and like Warren, how as a ball player, you can respect him as a ball player, but you're like, I don't like his game though for this reason. He doesn't have these many moves. Like, so when I hear you guys break those things down, that makes a lot of sense to me, even though I'm not a ball player. I respect it.
Like, I feel like he's not. He's just chosen to work on different things.
Yeah, chosen to work on different things. But it might. But at the end of the day, it's not the things that you like the most out of a ball player, right? I was having a conversation with Big Mike the other day about this, and he's talking about like another reason why people have a hard time with this whole Jordan, Kobe, LeBron debate is because it also depends on your viewpoint of dominance. Like, how you define dominance will very easily tell you who you like more. Right?
Subjectively.
It's all subjective, but even though there's a very specific definition for dominance, people have like subjective opinions on it. Right? So
I think my, again, this is my, it's all opinion. Everything's opinion, but I rate players based on like 2K, let's say, for example. Yeah. Like, a complete NBA basketball player, to be a great player, you're great at the most amount of things. Yeah. Like, it's a numbers game. So your free throw percentage should be high. You should be able to play defense. You should be able to steal. You should be able to rebound. You should be able to, like, as a complete player, like,
of course,
you can't be the best player in the NBA and only shoot 3-pointers. Like, okay, you're the best 3-pointer shooter, but you're not the best player.
Yeah, you gotta have.
James Harden's an incredible offensive player. He's not an incredible overall NBA player. He's not, like,
because you're not incredibly like, on the defensive.
You're not, like, you're not allowed to have weaknesses per se, and that's why the Kobe's and Jordans and all these, like, and Magic, whatever, not even Magic because he had weaknesses, but Kobe and Jordan specifically, they're so up there because, like, they literally filled every weakness. Jordan couldn't shoot. He got his jump shot. He got flack for defense, became defense player of the year. Like whatever you said he couldn't do, he did.
Yeah.
And LeBron ceases to do that. Like people, like his jump shot got a little bit better over the years, but people are like, you still have no moves. Hasn't really worked on any moves. Still forces and dips his shoulder, and you haven't really worked on your handle. That handle's still kind of weak. But he's kind of just like, this is what I'm good at. Is what I'm about to do, and that's fine. Yeah, and that's a dominant aspect because Shaq didn't work on the shot, but he's like, I'm gonna get through my career, and you're not gonna stop me doing what I do, right? And what are you gonna say to Shaq?
Yeah, which is fuck.
Which is the same. Which is that's the way it is.
But I mean, which is fuck because I saw like another thing to do. Like I hate bringing up numbers, but it's like it showed that in like playoff field goal percentages, LeBron owns like 4 of the highest percentages. Like more, like field goal for 2 points, like for more than Shaq, which is like kind of fucked up when you think about it, because like
Shaq's only dunking,
dude. When Shaq was in his prime, like I've heard people say that if you had to win one game to save the world, and you could only pick one player, so I've heard people say I would pick prime Shaq.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
there's nothing stopping that.
No one's.
I don't care if I do the same thing every play.
No one's stopping him. When Shaq could run and he was like athletic.
Skinny Shaq. Skinny light Shaq.
It's fucked up, bro. Like you could do nothing. Yeah. I just have visions in my head of Shaq dunking and pushing men like into the stands.
No call.
So it is what it is. And I think
you work to your strength, man.
That's all it is. I personally compare, and you can across sports, like the closest person to LeBron is like a Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Mm-hmm. They're
just so different from everybody else.
Yeah, I think they roughly played more or less the same amount of time. Ronaldo went to multiple different teams, dominated everywhere he went. He's, I think, around the same age, and this guy's still in crazy good shape. Like, makes no sense. And
they just stand out.
They just stand.
You're different.
You're just different.
Like,
but yeah, like at the end of the day, he's always gonna be measured up against these guys, right? I don't think he's personally ever gonna pass Jordan. And it's funny, like even after he won the ship, when he was sitting with AD, they asked him about the GOAT debate, and he literally said, he's like,
I'm not chasing it. Is that what he said?
He said, I wear the number 23 because of Jordan. Oh, I'm gonna let you guys do the debate.
I'm not disrespecting him.
I'm gonna let you guys do the debate. I wear it because of Jordan. Like you figure that out, right?
You guys are pitting me against him.
Right? That's how it always is. I think like any person who's good, like really good, they're supposed to think they're the best. Right. Like, you should think that way about yourself.
Of course.
But you can always be real and say like, look, come on. I'm trying to chase the ghost. That's what he said. I'm trying to chase the ghost. It's gonna be impossible because like
there's gonna be something always.
It's possible. There's always something that comes up. Kids today who never watch. Like the only thing that cheeses me about the
age gap of people.
Yeah, you cannot be my age telling me Jordan was the GOAT, because I'm like,
you weren't there. You weren't there.
You were 3.
Yeah, you weren't there.
You were 3 in 96.
You're watching highlights, arguing with me.
You were 3.
They're arguing. They're arguing with you off highlights,
dude. I shut the fuck up when someone like you
like an old head.
Yeah, if an old head's talking to me about this, I shut the fuck up because I'm like, they were there. They were also there when they watched fucking Magic.
Yeah,
and the thing is, Bird, like that.
The thing is, they're actually giving you an argument based on I've witnessed a game.
Yeah,
watched him play.
Yeah.
I've now witnessed a game watching LeBron play.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you off highlights or pretend I've watched a game start to finish of Jordan destroy human beings. And I'm now watching the exact same full game of LeBron, who's also great. But I'm telling you, what they look like on TV, I'm telling you, are not the same. And you have to be like, you know what?
And you know what? And it has to be like, I watch those games live, like not in person. I had to have like seen it real time.
Some of them have seen them live.
Because I've watched plenty of Jordan games front to back, hardwood classics. Yeah. Like I've watched.
Still TV. It's still TV.
It's still TV.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Still TV.
You don't get that same emotion. Like, bruh, imagine you being in your early 20s watching Jordan win the first chip with Pippen and those guys. Like it's a different feeling.
And the thing about live is that like TV is digital, right? So you're kind of watching it almost like a video game. Like you're like, it's kind of cool. But when you see something live, like any live game you've seen, when you see a guy, make a special shot or a particular move, whatever, you're actually witnessing how he physically did gravity.
Like
You're like, how did that actually go in? Like, I'm like, you can see it on TV, you're like, wow, that's a tough shot. But when you're actually looking at him jump and do something, you're like, when your eyes actually see a human do something, you're like, I can't do what he just did.
Yeah.
Like physically. I physically wouldn't be able to do what I just saw him just do.
Yeah.
With my eyes.
Literally, I think one of the few times, like, there's only been 2 times in LeBron's career. I thought, like, I'm a LeBron stan, but there's been 2 times in his career where I was like, this is actually fucked what I'm seeing. Like, it's actually fucked. And it was the series in Cleveland where he was against Detroit.
You went to Cleveland?
No. When I was watching on TV live, when it was Cleveland versus Detroit, and he scored like the last 28 points, like they went into overtime.
Yeah, he's going off,
and he just went off. I'm like, what am I watching? Like, this makes no sense. Right? And then the next was the block.
The chase down on Iguodala
one. Yeah, against Golden State on Iggy. I was like, this is actually
this guy's
sick.
a freak.
Like, this guy makes no sense because he was on the corner on the other side. Makes no sense. But yeah, like, it's just you had to have been there and see, and that's the reason why, like, when I make comments about Kawhi to people here, it's hard for them to accept it, right? Because we all witnessed what happened last year, right? So it's hard to like talk kind of ill about Kawhi to Toronto people, but for me, the jury is still out on whether or not this guy's a leader, right? Because
that can't happen.
That can't happen. My thing is this, because now it makes me reevaluate a lot of things in his career. It's like, all right, like the chips that he won with San Antonio, like that was really Timmy's team. It was Duncan's team. Still Duncan's team. He wasn't the guy.
When he won with us, he needed a team.
He needed team. I mean, he did his shit. Definitely
100%.
But he walked into a very
solid team
that we just needed.
They said, just do your job.
Yeah,
we got you.
We'll do the rest.
Clippers said, do your job and our job.
Yeah, do your job and our job. Do everything for us.
Nah, he's not.
That's what a jury's still out.
He's not that.
Like, you see things live. When I see things live, I'm like, oh man, like that's not supposed to work out that way. You know what I mean? So we'll see. It's a good episode.
Good episode, guys. Thank you. Until next week.
Yep.
We out of here. See y'all.
Peace.
Hello? We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.